Boom! It is the greatest host and co-host of MCR. Son, let him know.
MANN Cinema Reviews.
That's right. Peter Man the Second and Peter Man the Third. What's up, y'all? Son, do you know that we're nearly at 100 subscribers?
What?
That's right. And to get there, tell them what they have to do once we reach the 100 subscribers to see that through.
If you want to be on the MCR team, you want to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new
Review. That's right. Today we are covering the latest from Sony, and that is Venom. Let There Be Carnage. Thank you so much for choosing MANN Cinema Reviews. The titular extraterrestrial symbiote Venom still inhabits the lovable, burly journalist Eddie Brock. Struggling to cohabitate, the two must set aside their differences in order to stop the evil forces. On the loose, deranged serial killer Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage. All right. Well, son, let them know what you liked about the film.
I liked how Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage, liked how he acted. I liked how he played Carnage. It was a good role for him. I liked it.
Yes, and we're talking about Woody Harrelson playing Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage. He's really chewing up the scenery. Yeah. I do agree, down to his chaotic ginger hairdo. Woody Harrelson just really is having fun with his character. I don't think I've ever seen him, this, kinetic, full of energy since maybe when he was in the film Natural Born Killers. And I know you've never seen that movie, but I mean, he was really, really crazy in that film. So he's kind of channeling that kind of evil, crazy serial killer in Cletus Cassidy. So I did like that. I did like the direction of the new director. I think Ruben Fleischer did the first film. He did Zombieland and the sequel to that. It is Andy Serkis, actor, screenwriter, director, really known for his mocap work. And I did like the direction that he was doing in this. Did you like the direction of this film? I like the characterizations too. Did you like the relationship between Eddie and Venom in this? Like Tom Hardy. I mean, he really embodies Eddie Brock, I think. Did you like their relationship in this film?
Not really.
Not really? Okay, so that is a con for you.
Yeah.
I have to say that. Go ahead.
For the first film, I loved the first film, but I love this film even better than the first film.
Okay.
It's like I was shaking through the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this film, I think a lot of the body horror is pretty cool too. And that's what I mean about the new direction. I think Andy Serkis is really playing with it. I think he's really getting his Cronenberg on with this. And it was very surprising how scary the film is, right? I mean, it has some threatening moments in it. It's much darker than the first film. I like Tom Hardy. He's really more involved in this. He's a producer on this film too. I think he has story credit too. So I think he worked with Andy Serkis really heavily on this. So I think I like the relationship. I see what Andy Serkis did. It's not subtle, and I think it's a little bit contrived, but the kind of reciprocal relationship that Venom and Eddie's going on, I think you know what I'm talking about. Go ahead. Sorry.
But I just didn't know, how did he taste blood before? How could he taste blood before?
Right. So then you're talking about Woody Harrelson's Cletus, and he's on death row. Eddie Brock is getting the exclusive before he is sentenced to death, but he's got something else planned when he, is basically taking his last meal. He invites Eddie to visit him before the viewing, and he bites Eddie, and that's how he gets the symbiote through the blood and creates carnage. So I like that too. Was there anything that else you liked before we get into what I didn't like about the film?
I did like how Venom sounds.
Yeah,
Like,
I think you do a pretty good Venom too. But yeah, you like how Venom sounds. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna get into the cons and the drawbacks of this film. As much as I think that this film improves from the first film, I did not like the pacing of this film, in particular with Cletus and his love interest Shriek, played by Naomie Harris. The always brilliant Naomie Harris. I think she's getting a little bit, too schlocky with her performance here, but that's okay because this is what the film's called for. I mean, it is a comic book movie, right? Did you like the character Shriek? No? So that's a con for you.
Because,
I think that it doesn't, I don't think it develops naturally. I think a lot of it's fast forward. We get that setup in the beginning. We get that origin story with them when they were little.
But
Go ahead.
I don't like her because she makes high frequency sounds, and that doesn't help Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage.
That's right.
Because high pitched sounds.
Both Carnage and Venom.
Yeah.
It affects them.
Yeah, it affects them
So, yeah.
because they're like symbiotes and like aliens. It's like because Carnage keeps calling him Venom his dad. It's probably because of the bite he took out of his hand.
Right.
Because the tweeting of their
because
DNA.
with Venom, he's a symbiote from outer space.
Yeah.
So when Venom is inhabiting Eddie, it's because Cletus goes in for that bite, that it goes into the bloodstream and it creates a whole new symbiote through that way.
Yeah, because they're like it's like they're connecting like Venom has like a little bit of blood of Eddie, and like Carnage has a little bit of like blood of
Cletus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, and then he takes a bite. That's when he doesn't have the symbiote.
Right. I think another thing that I think that the film tries to improve on is the relationship between Eddie and Michelle Williams' character. I like that she's back in here. She has a much more meatier role in this. It's just not fleshed out. I think they care more about the relationship between Eddie and Venom than between him and Michelle Williams. I don't think that gets fleshed out at all. It's very interesting, but I think it gets kind of bogged down by kind of comic book tropes. It feels almost, rest in peace Joel Schumacher, but very Batman-esque, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin kind of vibes to it.
But you like,
and
that's at the end,
that's a downside for me.
At the end, you see, that's probably what.
We're gonna keep that under wraps, okay? I'm pretty sure a lot of people. I think what's very exciting about this, it is setting up a very cinematic world. If you want to get into it, maybe we also see kind of a symbiotic relationship, mutual relationship, maybe with Morbius and Blade maybe coming together and being a part of the same world. It'd be very cool to see Jared Leto and Mahershala Ali's Blade come together. But there is a character, we're not gonna get into it. I think it's pretty obvious, but stay tuned for the post-credit scene, right? Because that is a big plus. With its kind of dodgy storyline, with its
it's like action-packed, like just action-packed.
Okay. So then let them know. Well, go ahead, give them your review. What would you give this film?
I would give it.
Let's rein it in.
5 out of 5 stars.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna give this a 5-star. As much as I think that this is a big improvement, I don't think it is as big of improvement from the first film. I think Andy Serkis is really playing with the space. I think he's introducing a lot of characterizations that are very interesting, kind of awkward, but I think that he's trying something new. It's very exciting. What's great is that the success of this film is reflected because this is the biggest box office opening during the our pandemic era. So it's number 1 at the box office. It's making a whole bunch of money. Worldwide, I think it's just gonna blow up, and it's definitely gonna get it's probably gonna get a green light. I think my rating, I think with its dodgy storyline, I think we didn't get Naomie Harris's Shriek coming to full fruition in a natural way. I think that it's very, very schlocky, but I think it calls for it. It's a comic book film. You know, let's just make sure what we see what it is. You know, at face value, it is a comic book movie. Let's not take it so serious. I will give this film a 2.5, and it's nearly at a 3 stars. I can't give it its full 3 stars only because it's just very schlocky and it's very messy, especially towards the end. It is a very CGI fest towards the end, just like the first film, but I do think that Andy Serkis handles it better than the previous director.
Before we end the video,
yes.
For the first one,
what would you give the first one? 4? I would give the first one maybe a 1 star. I didn't care for that one that much. Like I said, I think this is a big improvement. I'm nearly at 3 stars.
But at the first one, you see Stanley. But I think that's the last thing he did.
We're not here to. Oh, Stanley, you're right. We do miss those Stanley cameos. But stay tuned, because I think this is gonna just open up the MCU in a big bad way. So thank you very much for choosing MANN Cinema Reviews. Anything you want to say before we head out of here?
No.
Be sure to like, comment. I love those comments. Subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
We read them all day.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much for choosing MANN Cinema Reviews.
Bye.
Peace.